Hey guys, welcome to the Nutrition Talk, where we're going to be talking about anything and everything nutrition. We're going to be talking about your food, how your food can be your medicine, how you can make sure your food protects your health, how you are able to eat healthy and stay clear from different lifestyle diseases that are already on the increase today. Come on, we have a whole lot of them that are on the increase. We have diabetes, we have blood pressure, we have cholesterol, we have stroke, cancer, a whole lot of them are really on the increase today. And guess what? Your food can actually, predispose you to most of these diseases, or your food can actually prevent you or actually help you reverse most of these diseases. So basically, how you prepare your food, what you eat, how you eat them matters a lot. And when it comes to the nutrition talk, we help you break everything down. We help you identify this food. We help you, identify the right food to eat, the actual medicine in the food. And not just that, we actually teach you or help you realize how to protect the nutrients in this food so that by the time you are eating this food, it's actually medicine for you and not poison. Because guess what? Your food can actually either be your medicine or your poison. So without wasting much of our time today, we're going to be talking about cruciferous vegetables. So basically, I'm sure a lot of us or a lot of you guys out there will be wondering what are cruciferous vegetables? Don't mind me. It's just English. So, but the most important thing is to get the major information across. So let's forget about the English. But however, cruciferous is gotten from, I think it's a Latin name. Yeah, it's actually a Latin name. Um, don't let's stress about the name. The most important is they are plant-based food and they are high in lots of nutrients. I have here that they belong to a Brassica family. Yeah, they belong to the Brassica family and they are among the most nutrient-dense food available. What I mean by that is, like I said earlier, they have loads and loads of nutrients. So the idea is to identify this food and so we can maximize it, basically. So don't worry about the name. They're plant based. That's what you should know. That's what should be in our mind. And then they are high in lots of nutrients, which includes vitamins. They are high in lots of vitamin A, vitamin C, vitamin K, and they are high in lots of folate. They're also high in lots of antioxidants. And if you understand what I mean by antioxidants, you don't want to mess with this. Now, antioxidants food are foods that actually help to protect the cells from damaging our cells. The human body is made up of billions of cells, okay, turned into organs, tissues to organ. Now, antioxidants food actually help to protect cell damage. Very important. So these cruciferous vegetables are high in lots of antioxidants. They are also high in lots of phytochemicals. Now, when I talk about phytochemicals, you should already understand or know what I mean. Phytochemicals also helps to protect the cell from damaging, and also they actually helps to protect us from different chronic diseases that are on the increase, like I mentioned earlier, like all these cancer and the likes. When you eat foods that are high in lots and lots of phytochemicals, you are able to protect yourself from such chronic diseases. I also call them degenerative diseases like cancer. As far as I'm concerned, cancer is a degenerative disease. When you eat foods that are high in this kind of nutrients, you are able to protect yourself from such diseases. And for those that have been predisposed to this disease as well, you can actually manage yourself and reverse these diseases. Who told you cancer can be reversed? It can be reversed when you eat healthy with good food, with good nutrition, with good lifestyle. When you take all the appropriate measures that you need to take, you can actually reverse it. Okay. So now these cruciferous vegetables are high in lots and lots of these nutrients. I'm still sure most of us are confused. I'm going to now give us examples. I'm sure that by now, when I give examples or highlight this disease, this rather, what's it called? These vegetables, you will understand what I mean. So examples of these cruciferous vegetables are broccoli. I know most of us are familiar with broccoli. We see it in our supermarkets everywhere. So broccoli is a typical example of cruciferous vegetable. We have our cauliflower. I'm sure most people barely would use broccoli and cauliflower in their cooking. I'm 100% sure of that. But there, and you can get it in your local stores, supermarkets around you. But the most common one that I can authoritatively tell you with my full chest is cabbage. You can get cabbage everywhere. You can get cabbage in the local markets. I'm sure most of us are familiar with cabbage. Yes, that same cabbage, is an example of what we call the cruciferous vegetable. We have the white cabbage and we have the red cabbage, which is almost like purple in color, but it's not too common, but it's available in all our local markets, okay? And it's very, very nice, trust me. And then we have kale. Kale is actually an example of a cruciferous vegetable. Brussels sprouts is an example. Bok choy is an example. These ones are not particularly common, but the most common, like I said, is the cabbage, followed by broccoli and maybe the cauliflower, basically. So at this point, I'm going to be talking about some of the nutrition composition of this cruciferous vegetable, which is vitamin C. Vitamin C is actually very important. It's good for the immune system. When we talk about immune system, we're talking about protecting yourself from different diseases. Vitamin C is one key active ingredient or compound that can actually help, and it's very high in cruciferous vegetables. So let's maximize it. We have vitamin K, and vitamin K is actually good for bone health. We have folate, which is good for cell growth. We have fibers, which is good for the gut health. Now, fiber is actually very important. I've mentioned fiber in my previous talk, and I've mentioned the importance of consuming fiber, which is actually very, very good. It actually helps facilitate digestion. There's what we call enterohepatic circulation, which means that it's the fiber that you have eaten from your vegetables, that are not basically properly digested or that are not digested, that helps to actually cleanse the bowel. It's, how do I explain it? It actually makes your bowel movement very easy. Some people struggle. They barely go to the restroom, maybe like once in 2 days, once in 3 days, which is not good for your bowel. But once you eat this cruciferous vegetable, the fiber content in them makes your bowel movement very easy. So you can see why this is actually very important, right? Yeah, so it's high in fiber, it's high in calcium, which is actually good for bones. It helps with strong bones. It's high in potassium, which helps to control blood pressure. For those that have blood pressure issue, you know, potassium is good for you, and you have lots of it in cruciferous vegetable. And also, it's high in sulforaphane, which is an anti-cancer effect. It has an anti-cancer effect in there. So for those that are trying to prevent cancer or they're managing cancer, trust me, this is a go-to. You don't really want to miss this. Now, I'm going to be focusing on the key phytochemicals in cruciferous vegetable. And when we talk about phytochemicals, we're talking about carotenoids, for instance. Now these phytochemicals are what gives plants their different color variation. Like you see red, you see orange color, you see yellow, like your bell peppers now, your red bell peppers, your what's it called, yellow bell peppers, your carrots itself, which is the orange color. Okay, and what else? Your purple, yeah, So those are the kind of foods that has those colors. So they are high. So the cruciferous vegetables are also high in phytochemicals, basically, and they actually help to prevent the cells from damaging, which is your body cells, and they help to protect and prevent you from all these degenerative diseases as well. So, like I said, I'm going to be focusing on the actual key phytochemicals. So, I was able to explain to give us an insight of what phytochemicals are all about. So, One of the key phytochemicals is sulforaphane, like I mentioned earlier, and it's a powerful antioxidant from when cruciferous vegetables are chopped and chewed. Now, this goes to say that most of these cruciferous vegetables does not like heat. For some of them, for some of us that like to overcook our vegetables, I've been to houses where I see families just making ugu, whatever ugu vegetable soup they want to make, either edikaikon, ugu and water leaf and the likes, and they overcook these vegetables. Most of these veggies don't like high heat. So the more you cook them, the more you destroy the nutrients in them. And I'm sure I'm wondering why when healthcare professionals advise you, eat a lot of vegetables, do this and do that, and you say, but I keep eating vegetables, but guess what? How you are eating that vegetables matter. In most cases, sometimes you have overcooked them, you have lost the key nutrients, and then you are just eating shaft. You're just eating the shaft. There's no key nutrients in there. So, like I said here, this key phytochemical does not need heat at all. So they are better, more active when they are chopped and they are chewed. And the benefits includes the supports detoxification. uh, Detoxification, basically the body naturally detoxifies itself. The liver is doing a great job. Now, what happens with the food you eat and nutrition is that they just support the body. Simple as ABC. They help the body. Now, ironically, when you drink alcohol, for instance, you give the body more workload. You're giving the body more job. But when you eat healthy and you eat from these classes of food, you are helping the body to do their job in an easy way. So it supports detoxification. If you want to detox yourself, you want to cleanse yourself, your liver, any of these cruciferous vegetables are go-to for you. They reduce inflammation for those that have different types of inflammation in different parts of their body, especially their joints, their knees and the likes. It helps to reduce inflammation and also protect the cell from damaging, like I said. Very important. Now, I'm also going to be sharing some of the major importance of having to eat this cruciferous vegetable for different kind of diseases. The first one I'm going to start with here is cancer. They actually help to prevent cancer. Cruciferous vegetables help to prevent cancer. Not just preventing cancer, they also help to manage cancer and reverse cancer over time. They basically helps to give you good quality of life. You know, so for those that have cancer and they are basically confused, they don't know what to eat, they find it difficult to eat right. Cruciferous vegetables is one food you should not joke with. I'm also going to be sharing different recipes, but now we're talking about how they help you to prevent cancer, different kind of cancer basically. They help to prevent breast cancer, colon cancer, prostate cancer, lung, stomach, any kind of cancer. Cruciferous vegetable will help to prevent, not just prevent, can also help to manage and eventually reverse the cancer over a period of time. Okay, now we are focusing on your diet, but guess what? It's not just your diet, the kind of lifestyle you're living also. There are lots of holistic things involved in the reversal process. It's not just your diet, but your diet actually also plays a key role, just like every other factors also play a key role in helping you reverse cancer eventually over a period of time. But it's actually very possible. So, benefits for the heart health. Now, we're going to be talking about the heart. Now, what are the benefits of having to eat lots of cruciferous vegetable to the heart? Now, they help to lower inflammation, like I mentioned earlier. They improve blood vessel function, which is actually very important. They also help to reduce LDL cholesterol, which is the bad cholesterol, in helping to protect the heart. We have the good cholesterol, we have the bad cholesterol. The good is the HDL cholesterol, and the bad cholesterol is the LDL cholesterol. So cruciferous vegetable actually helps in preventing, cholesterol and the likes. So, and they also support healthy blood pressure. You know, different things can actually provoke your blood pressure. So as I'm sitting here, I have a stable blood pressure. Both my systolic and diastolic is in a resting state. Do you understand? So if I check my blood pressure now, it will give me the actual normal range that I'm supposed to be expecting. But guess what? If I should engage in any kind of physical activity, or I take, for instance, do like 100 meters run now, my blood pressure is going to increase. But guess what? It's increasing as a result of the 100-meter run I just did. If I climb a staircase, the same thing. So if I stress myself in any way, there's a possibility my blood pressure will increase. Do you get? So certain things can actually provoke, your blood pressures depending. But however the case may be, some people actually really have high blood pressure irrespective. So this cruciferous vegetable, very good for you to incorporate in your diet, and over time they help to normalize or help you stabilize your blood pressure basically. So now we're also going to be talking about the importance or the benefits for those that have arthritis and joint pain. you know so how does cruciferous vegetable actually help with that? Now they help to reduce inflammation, like I said. They help to protect the cartilage, that's the cartilage in between your joints. And they also combat oxidative stress. If you know what I mean by oxidative stress is when, in simple English, without speaking too much, grammar, is when the what's it called, the free radical, the amount of free radicals in our system is way more than the antioxidants in the system. There's actually an imbalance between free radicals and antioxidants. So how well do you combat oxidative stress? When you eat food that are high in loads of phytochemicals and antioxidants like cruciferous vegetables, you can easily combat oxidative stress. You get. So you see why it is important to consume cruciferous vegetables. So that's it. And also we're going to be talking about the benefits of cruciferous vegetables to gut health. Very important. Our gut is very key. In fact, that's the brain. That's like a major space. That's an office that I don't joke with. Do you get? So they feed beneficial gut bacteria. We have good bacteria and we have the bad bacteria. We need to get that. So, but cruciferous vegetable actually feeds the beneficial gut bacteria. They also help to improve digestion. I'm sure a lot of people have digestion issue. Sometimes you wake up, or sometimes you just feel bloated. Sometimes you feel, what's it called? Um, Constipated. Yeah. Sometimes you feel constipated, depending. But when you have to consume more cruciferous vegetable, you see that you have easy digestion process. And also they support regular bowel movements, like I said earlier. You go to the loo very easy, on a daily basis, which is actually the way it's supposed to be. Okay. And then they enhance immune function. So when you have good gut health, your immune system is also high. So that's why I said gut is very important, it's very key. Then another importance of cruciferous vegetable for weight management. Let me drink to this. I have my juice. This is actually a green juice. Okay, for weight management, and I know a lot of people are trying to manage their weight. Some people are overweight, some people are obese already. And it's important to keep a very good weight. It's important to keep a very healthy weight to actually prevent most of these lifestyle diseases. Now, importantly here, cruciferous vegetable is actually beneficial for that. It's as low calorie, low calorie. Most times we eat so much calories in our food. On a daily basis, for a man and a woman, we recommend roughly maybe around 2,000, 2,500 calories, 1,800, 2,000 calories, depending if it's a male or a female. depending on a lot of factors, depending your physical activities, how engaged you are. Some people have sedentary lifestyle, they are sitting from morning to night. Some people are very active, probably for those that kind of like work in the site, they're moving from one place to another, they're carrying stuff and all that. So depending on all of these factors, that actually determines the actual daily calorie intake. But guess what? Sometimes on one sitting, some people are eating about 2,000 to 3,000 calories just on one sitting, which is a lot. And in most cases, their lifestyle, they don't work out, they don't exercise, and they get to store most of those calories in their body. And over time, they begin to add it. Okay. So what we're trying to say here is that when you incorporate more cruciferous vegetables to your diet, it's low in calorie. No matter how much vegetables you eat, they're low in calorie. And mind you, how you prepare them matters. I'm still going to talk about them. They're also high in fiber. We talked about the gut health. We talked about the importance of fiber. And then they also help to promote fullness. So if you don't want to overeat, eat more veggies, and then you feel full. Do you get? I'm going to be sharing recipes of this as well. They help to reduce cravings and also improve blood sugar control. Now, for those that have high blood sugar, for those that are diabetic and they are also confused, they don't know what and what to eat, cruciferous vegetable is a go-to. I've highlighted them and I'm going to be sharing recipes, different recipes, how you can incorporate them. Now, the benefit to blood pressure and cholesterol, which I know a lot of people are suffering from. On the average, if care is not taken, more than maybe 70, 80%, if not 90% of an average Nigerian has high blood pressure. I'm just joking. But most people actually, their blood pressure is elevated as a result of stress and many other things. So, but guess what? They actually are high in potassium, which helps to regulate blood pressure. The fiber assists cholesterol reduction. Now, the fiber in there assists with cholesterol reduction, which is very good. They are high in lots of antioxidants that also protects the blood vessel and they support healthy circulation. So, what are we waiting for? Why are we not maximizing, the benefit of having to incorporate cruciferous vegetables in our diet? Don't dull, please. So, how to preserve these nutrients? Now, the best method, is to eat raw. Now, that's where you can have your salad. I know some people don't like salad, especially we Nigerians. We don't like salad. We feel that there are leaves and it's animals basically that are supposed to be eating leaves. We are not animals. Yes, I understand. But there are lots of benefits to this food. There are a whole lot of benefits. So just because of the benefits involved, we need to try as much as possible to incorporate them in our diet, so we can have them in form of salad on the side. So when you're having your lunch, for instance, and you're eating maybe jollof rice and chicken, instead of eating like a huge portion of jollof rice, okay, you can have a serving of salad on the side. That will reduce the amount of jollof rice you are eating. That will reduce the quantity. That will reduce the calorie intake from the jollof rice you are eating. And guess what? You will now still be able to maximize the benefit from those vegetables. Okay, so we can eat in form of salads. If you have to steam at all, very likely don't over steam, don't overcook your vegetables generally, let alone the cruciferous vegetables. So 2 to 3 minutes, it's okay. And then stir fry, you can stir fry. But most importantly, try to avoid overcooking. Try as much as possible to avoid overcooking your vegetables because when you do so, you destroy the nutrients in your vegetables basically. So I'm going to be sharing different recipes for us because yes, we've been able to learn the benefit, the usefulness, and all that of cruciferous vegetables. We've been able to identify them, both the common one and the uncommon one. Cabbage, very common. You can get it in your local market, the nearest local market. Maximize the different colors. Your broccoli, your cauliflower, they're not as expensive. We think these things are expensive. They are not expensive. So the first recipe I'm going to be sharing with us is a salad recipe. It's a salad recipe. So for your salad, now this is actually good for inflammation. I call it anti-inflammatory salad recipe. Very good. So you can have 2 cups of shredded cabbage, the same normal cabbage. Just take your knife and shred it. Just shred, and then you can have like 2 cup or like an handful, you know, of your shredded cabbage. You can have your kale if you are able to get kale, but if you're not able to get kale, it's fine. You can have your carrots, shred your carrots. You can have your cucumbers, your bell peppers, your avocado. That's a simple salad recipe. Don't stress too much. And then you can marinate or you can dress it with either olive oil, maybe like 1 or 2 teaspoons of olive oil, can drizzle across your salad, or maybe coconut oil, or maybe avocado. You can just take your avocado and mash your avocado, add a little bit of lemon juice or lime juice, add a little bit of black pepper. Black pepper, I don't joke with it. Even I would advise you sprinkle a little bit of black pepper, on your salad because it facilitates the absorption of nutrients. So it's very good. So that's a simple salad recipe already. Then for smoothie, for those that like smoothie, some people don't like it, but it's good. But for those that like it, you can have your broccoli and avocado smoothie. You're going to get your blender, take a little bit of broccoli, take a little bit of avocado, then you are going to blend it together with water. If you have um, um, what's it called? The liquid in coconut too as well. The coconut water, you can blend with it. You can use water or you can add cucumbers to it just to increase the moisture content inside. So very simple, very easy. And then you can also add like 1 lemon or lime inside. That's the juice of the lemon or lime. You can also add it inside. Very good. And that can serve as a breakfast or dinner or something in between meals. If you feel hungry in between your meals and you don't want to eat anything heavy because you're trying to watch your weight or you just want to stay healthy, you can also have the smoothie. Then we have the cruciferous vegetable stir fry. For those that love stir fry, you can have the stir fry. Now you can use your broccoli, you can use your cauliflower, you can use them together, you can use them separately, depending on anything, depending on what you like at the moment. You can also add your cabbage to it. But the best way to start with this is you can have your herbs, maybe like the garlic, the onions, the ginger, all those herbs, just put them together. If you have the fresh ginger or fresh garlic, you can chop them, dice them, and then you can use to make your stir fry vegetable, which is very good. A little bit of olive oil is fine. And then chicken breast. I would advise you use chicken breast because it has low calorie, it's not fat, and it's more healthy. So you can have your cruciferous vegetable stir fry. You can have as breakfast as well. And you can have as a side dish to maybe rice or whatever you're eating at the time. But just make sure that you have more vegetables than the actual food. You know, like your food plate should be more of vegetables, basically. Then what else do we have here? We have your green juice. I call this anti-inflammatory green juice. So you have your kale, your cucumber, your celery, lemon, a little bit of lemon and ginger. Trust me, try this. Just try that juice recipe. I promise you, are going to love it. Okay, so basically, those are the ideas of how you can play around your cruciferous vegetables. Now, daily intake recommendation for this can be at least 1 or 2 servings per day. So, which means that you can have this in the morning or late evening, at least twice in a day, or 5 or 7 servings per week. That means you are supposed to eat this thing almost every day for the week. Now, this is how you get to incorporate them into your diet, and they're going to help you. They're really going to help you. So, include a varieties of colors and types for maximum benefit. What I'm trying to say here is to make sure that play with the colors, play with the red colors, play with the yellow colors, play with the orange colors, play with the green colors. Then you're going to maximize the benefit, because then we are maximizing all the different forms of phytochemicals. Do you get? Very important. So conclusively, they are rich in vitamins and minerals and lots of antioxidants. Your cruciferous vegetables. They support cancer prevention. For those that want to prevent cancer, cruciferous vegetables are good too, for those that want to prevent cancer. For those that already have cancer and also they really want to manage it and they want to eventually reverse, cruciferous vegetable is good. They help to improve your heart health, which is good for those that have blood pressure and the like. Whatever heart issues you have, cruciferous vegetables are very good. And you can do well by incorporating them into your diet. They help to manage arthritis and every form of inflammation. So for those that have joint pains on the knees and the like, so make sure you try as much as possible to include cruciferous vegetables to your diet, and promote good. They promote gut health. I made mention of the importance of gut health, which is actually very important. Facilitates digestion, easy bowel movement. Like I said earlier, some people in 2 days did not go to the restroom. Why? We are supposed to use the restroom on a daily basis. So once you are able to incorporate these cruciferous vegetables to your food in a healthier way and in a better way, it helps to protect your gut health. It promotes your gut health. Like I said, identifying the food is one thing, maximizing and utilizing the food is another thing. Some people, they've identified the food, but guess what? They're not maximizing it properly. The way they cook them, they overcook them. They had a lot of unnecessary, will I call it, ingredients or so, and then they are not able to get the best out of it. But now I've been able to identify, and I've been able to teach you how best to eat them, and I've been able to teach you how well to preserve and protect them so that your body can actually maximize a lot from this. So, guys, on this episode with the Nutrition Talk, we've been able to actually bring to light what cruciferous vegetables are, identify them, how and where you can get them, how you can maximize them, how you can eat them, how you can use them to protect your health. Please make sure you do all that has been said. Very, very important. And by the way, I would actually want you guys to share this post with somebody you really, really love, somebody you care about. I want you to engage on this post. I want you to comment on this post. Let's see what you think, what your view are, what your ideas are, and trust me, we're going to actually be responding to this post. So please don't forget to share with somebody you like, engage, respond to this post, and always try as much as possible to follow for more healthy, nutrition talk like this. And guess what, guys? I promise you're going to come back and be thanking me later, because this is actually what we need to protect ourselves, to protect our health, and to make sure that we are actually, have a healthy life. So until I see you on the next episode on Nutrition Talk, have a wonderful day.